right, welcome to this week's episode of The Heat Wave. My name is Charlie. So glad you could join me on the show, and I'm totally excited today because my guest in the studio is absolutely extraordinary. If that is the title, then she befits it. Most of the time we get to meet a lot of different people that do a lot of different stuff. My guest today is into motorsport. She's a mechanic, she's a singer, and we just get to find out more about where she gets the energy to do all these things. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce to you Messi Hinyambwe. How are you?
I'm okay, how are you?
Great to have you on the show.
Thank you, my pleasure.
When I heard your story, I was so intrigued and I was like, wow, how do you manage to do all these things? First of all, who's Messi?
Well, who's Messi? I'm a simple person, though people say I'm weird, complicated, but I think I'm a simple person.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm straightforward, nothing complicated.
Yeah. So, how did you get into motorsport? How did the interest begin, first of all?
Motorsport comes from way back because my dad used to fix cars way back, so I used to be his Spanish girl. And
okay.
Yeah, so I think the interest started from there. But when I grew up, like I became a little bit girly, so I thought, okay, why should I do cars? I mean,
that's from there.
Yeah. So I stopped at some point. Then I think 2010, that's when I realized to say, okay, you know what, I can't hide it because it kept on hunting me and everything, so I just had to like go for it.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, cool stuff. So how is, like motorsport is regarded more of a masculine sport and all of that. How has it been fitting in though for you?
It's got its advantages and disadvantages. Advantages is that all the guys are willing to help whenever I need help.
Yeah.
And disadvantages is that I don't have any competitors, so it's hard.
So you have to compete against men?
Not really. They just let it go. They're like, we can't break your heart. So, yeah.
I totally love that. So, with the discrimination that comes in terms of sport, being a woman into motorsport, I'm sure you haven't had it easy so far. Any major tournaments that you've been invited to?
When it comes to discrimination, it's not the people in the motorsport who discriminate me, but the people outside of it.
Yeah.
Because they look at motorsport as a materialistic sport. They're like, no, you have to have a car, obviously, and it's more demanding and everything. It's not like soccer where you just need your talent and your soccer boots and that's it.
Right.
So the discrimination is on the outside part, not on the inside. On the inside, we work as a team. We are all together. We're united.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome stuff. So I'm sure like your beauty deceives a lot of people. You're a mechanic. Like, how does that work with you though? Because I've got a couple of mechanic friends. I know what they look like.
Well, okay. So from the mechanic part, it all started when I was a Spanish girl. Like, I first learned the tools and the toolbox and everything. Then later on, I discovered to say, oh, okay, he did that last time, so the problem was this. So if I have a breakdown, it's easy for me to say, okay, this is the problem, and if it's minor, I can be able to fix it then. But if it's major, I have to call somebody to help me out.
Right. So you fixed people's cars?
Yeah, but not that they know of it, because they wouldn't want to know that I fixed their cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, because most of my times I'm hanging in the garage, like, having chats and everything with my friends. So it's, how can I put it? We'll be there together having our chilling moments and everything. Then a client brings a car, they leave it there, then we'll start working on it. They won't know I worked on it, but yeah, I do help. That's me learning. So
do people get surprised sometimes when they find out like you're the one that actually worked on their car? Because I won't bring my car to a nice looking girl like you to work on it. I'm like, do you face that most of the time?
Yeah, basically I was supposed to do mechanics.
Yeah.
But when I told my parents to say I want to do mechanics, the first thing was nobody would take you seriously.
My daughter wouldn't come here and tell me she wanted to do mechanics. I'm like, sit down.
So yeah, when I told them I wanted to do mechanics, they told me to say nobody will take you seriously, nobody will want to employ you, and nobody would want their car fixed by a girl. So I had to think twice about it, and I had to weigh my measures. I'm like, okay, fine. I really can't do it now.
Yeah.
Because obviously there is that discrimination already, so it's kind of hard.
Mm-hmm.
But one day I will achieve my dreams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for somebody who wants to get into fixing cars and they're a woman and they've got a genuine interest and they want to do it, what are some of the things that they need to understand about their profession?
Well, self-respect mostly, because it's hard being a female already and being in the garage. You get all these silly comments from guys and everything, so you have to be disciplined and you have to mark your territory. You have to give them boundaries to say, okay, when we're here, it's strictly work. You can't go beyond that.
Yeah.
When I'm here, look at me like you look at any other male mechanic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's the most important thing.
Yeah. Is there such a thing as there are certain tasks in terms of fixing a car that only a guy can do and you wouldn't, and most of the time you have to call guys to actually help you from... I can imagine an engine so heavy, man.
No, not really. There is no specific thing. It's like asking to say, oh, can a girl be on radio or not?
Right.
Yeah. So if you put your mind to it, you can do everything. There is nothing like, no, the engine is heavy. I mean, there are cranes to carry that thing for you, so you don't really... Yeah.
All right, great stuff. So now let's talk about this. This is weird because we're moving from one profession to the other. How did you get into singing, though?
Wow. Oh, singing. I started quite young. I grew up in an Adventist house, so every time they would make me sing in church.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, either recite a memory verse or a poem or sing, basically. So me growing up in that environment, I think exposed me. And I felt like they were forcing me in the beginning. Because every time they're like, Saturday you're going to church, oh, you're going to recite a memory verse. I'm like, you guys really? Like, do I have to do it? And later on, I discovered to say it was actually to my advantage. So I officially got in the studio, I think I was in grade 10 by then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was Jerry D. Cabin production. Yeah, by then they were still located Chilenje, Chris Corner, that side.
I'm pretty sure they're still...
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're still there, but then it was the real Cabin, like they were still in that house over, yeah.
Oh, no, it was called Cabin, huh?
Yeah, because, yeah. So those were my first encounter in music. Nephew Jay, that's Jerry D's young brother, he's the one who did my first bit.
Yeah.
And it was quite hard because I came from singing a cappella, and so I got to the studio for the first time. Then I had already written my lyrics and everything, so I was ready to sing there and then. And so I get there and then he's like, how does the song go like? So I give him a demo of everything, and then he goes like, oh, okay. So he starts making the beat, and he made the beat completely different from what I wanted.
From what you had in mind?
Yeah, because in my mind it was just a cappella and like snaps and everything, so it all came out different, and I was like, wow. So I actually had to, I'm like, can I come back next week so I can record, because I don't think I can do this right now. Yeah, so I took a week, went back, and we recorded my first song in KB production.
Wow. So from then on, how's the journey been?
My journey in music has been quite good and challenging, obviously.
Right.
I've had encounters where the producer will want to get to you sexually because you're a female, and you have to set your boundaries again.
Right.
You have to say, okay, you know what, I'm here for this and I'm not going to be taken advantage.
Mm-hmm.
So most people will be like, okay, you know what, you can pay in kind, don't give me money. And you'll be like, no, I want to give you money, I don't want anything. So I've worked with quite a lot of producers actually. So
right.
Yeah, because I always get that different feel. If I hear a producer's production, I'll be able to tell, okay, this one can do good in this type, and yeah.
So how do you describe your music?
My music, it's how can I put it? I do everything basically. If I work with Mzenga, it's hip hop. If I were to work with rhythm or Drew, it would be dancehall or R&B. At some point, actually, I even started recording covers.
Yeah.
Kalindula, Pongozi type of covers.
Serious?
Yes, so
that would be amazing. I want to listen to a cover song done by Pongos or some PK cover. That would be amazing.
So I did that, and like mostly some people will be like, oh, can I do a song with you? And I'll be like, what kind of song? So like already people are introducing me to trap music and kwaito whatever and everything. So I'm like, okay, you guys, this is kind of different, but I still go for it.
Yeah. So it's about being diverse.
Yeah.
And talking about diversity, you really are a diverse person. Talk about motorsports, being a mechanic, to singing, and you're a student as well at the same time.
Yes, apparently I'm a student.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. How do you manage to cut across all these professions that you're into and be able to have time and?
Well, in the beginning it was challenging. When I started school in 2016, I put everything else on hold. I was like, okay, you know what? I want to be this S student throughout and everything. But then I just realized to say I wasn't really happy with myself. I mean, I would see, because 3/4 of my social media friends are like music or motorsport, and I would see them posting about, oh, how great a motor show was or how great the studio was. So I felt like I was missing out. And I told myself to say, I just have to balance and work everything out. So it's complicated, but when it comes to school, I think of school in my free time. I do other stuff. Good thing with university is that it's not every day, Monday to Friday, class 8 to 16 and everything. Like there are days that you don't have to do anything and you take that chance.
Awesome stuff. So to a young girl right now, looking at you with what you have done, and they're probably thinking certain boundaries in what they think they can do and what they can't do. What does it take a woman to get into? What has kept you going?
I think most importantly is the support I get. I remember when I started doing music, the first person I told was mom. I was so scared of my dad because I never knew what he was going to say. So I told my mom about it, and then she told me to say, as long as you're not getting money from me, go for it. You have my support. So I was there like trying to hustle so I can pay my bills and everything. And it worked out well. When dad found out, he actually freaked out. But because my brother just went like, oh, do you know she does music? And then, wait, what? I'm like, yeah. So because mostly if you were to see the content out there, mostly it's nudity and everything.
Right.
So he thought maybe I'm doing that as well. And he was kind of disturbed. So for him to actually accept it, I had to make him listen to an area cover I did, Oliver Mtukuzi.
Yeah.
And he was actually impressed.
That was the first take. Like, okay, I don't like it, but this song sounds good.
Because he loves country music and old school music. So it was actually a shock. And when I made him listen to a hip hop song of mine, he was like, that's you again? I'm like, yeah, that's me. So he tells me to say, I really can't understand the rap, but I'll try. I'm like, yeah. So yeah, it's the support from everybody, and I think it's also what you set your goals to. If you tell yourself you're gonna do it, then you really have to do it. You have to work hard. You have to. There is no victory without a fight, obviously.
Right.
So you have to endure all that and work on it.
Yeah. So let's talk a bit about the stress that comes with always trying to dodge sexual advances. Obviously, from the motorsport aspect, talking about being a mechanic, talking about music and all of that. How do you manage to do all of that? Because I think recently there's been a lot of talk, especially on social media, where entertainers finally come out and talk about how they're being sexually harassed and people wanting favors from them just because they think because you're a female, then we can. Have you managed to stay clean of that?
Well, to be honest, when I go to the studio, most of the times I always have somebody with me. not that I'm scared of anything, but I just feel like they wouldn't advance on me if I was with somebody. So every time I'm in the booth recording or anything, there is always somebody like looking at me. Mostly my sister. She's even nodding. She's like, okay, no, you don't sound okay right now. Okay, yeah, you sound okay. So I think that's how I've been able to dodge it. But I think it's also the boundaries you set.
Yeah.
If you tolerate that, then definitely they will come up to you. But if you tell them to say, okay, you know what, I'm here strictly for music and nothing but music.
Right.
Yeah. And obviously they'll take you seriously to say, okay, you know. And mostly the reason why people do that is because we are offering less. Imagine you go to a producer and recording a song is 1,000. So you go there, you're like, no, I don't have 1,000, I've got 300 kwacha, so can you help me and everything. So to start with, we need to respect what they do. And that's really hard work. So it's also the payment that you give them. You pay them well and everything, they will take you seriously. Unlike whereby every time you're paying less and less and less, in the end of it, they'll demand for something that you won't be able to give.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's the future for you in terms of, we'll start with motorsport first of all.
What? Well, right now I'm into drift and spin, but I always see my...
What's drift and spin? I don't want to remain behind you.
Well, I just have to take you to a motor show so you can really
and
see.
show me that that's a drift and spin.
Yes.
Okay.
There's actually a difference between drifting and spinning.
Okay, I'll pretend I understand that.
Just like there's a difference between rapping and singing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So, motorsport, I want to go into rally.
Yeah.
I've already said I'm talking to some guys and everything, and they've told me to say if you really want to be a good rally driver, you have to first become a navigator. So I'm learning how to make a map and how to make codes and everything.
Right.
Yeah. So far, I'm on that level. Yeah. I think that's for my motorsport. I want to go rally, like the Dakar rally and everything. Like those guys are awesome. Yeah. So I want to go that way.
Okay. As a mechanic?
As a mechanic, well, for now, definitely I'm doing something different in school. But once I'm done, I will get my degree in mechanics.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, this is where we come to the end. We've been talking to this extraordinary human being on the show today, and just the moral of it is that you could become anything you want to become for as long as you put your mind to it. There's no boundaries, and there's no gender boundaries or whatever it is that you might want to call it. Mercy, thank you so much for your inspirational story and for coming on the show.
Thank you very much.
All righty, until next week, this has been Charlie, and keep watching QTV.